Okay, note to self. Before you even start the game, actually, because you play here and actually load the game, that's the only place where it says 2.13 that I can find here. I need to note that for the other thing. I'm recording this again because I want to try to do this as shortly as possible, because after splicing the other video together, it's still like an hour long of loading up an old save, going to the location, waiting for the right time to happen, etc. And there was a whole lot of guessing what may be the triggers for the thing to go away that ended up just being a moot point. Well, here we are. Yeah, I can go and do those autosaves, maybe, possibly, but we're just gonna go right back to the beginning. Because, okay, I know I have Jackie's bike there. I didn't click this one. I don't remember. That looks like waking up after talking to Johnny that night, so we'll go with this one.
Howdy, howdy, Night City. Welcome back. My guest tonight is Lieutenant Sarah Kokoski, spokeswoman for the NCPD.
Because this particular play, I decided to go a little slower with things and actually take some time every chance I can to get the stuff I need, which is what part of this is. I paid him back as quick as possible so that I can start working on getting a cloak, the eye, and crouch run. Because after I talk to Takamura, I have maybe 3 days to have that done. And it's every single day he's calling you. Yeah. You don't get tarot cards before talking to him. That happens after talking to him in the restaurant. F, not B. So, yeah, this is... That was the other thing. I was trying to remember what the name of the gig is in Heroes. So I got Jackie's bike. I still have to talk to... And I'm not saving this, so it doesn't matter. I can click it. Yeah, I have to go meet him at the restaurant. The lockdown in Watson just ended because somewhere here my character went to Jackie's funeral. So I'm going to go back to that, just so I'm not bugged.
Watch your tongue. What the hell, June?
Let's see. The particular party in interest is right over here. There is a fast travel there. And that's not this save. So I'm gonna have to go and do that again, aren't I? Is the bike gonna crash on the curb again? Yeah, it did. Maybe that's just not a good thing. do I crash? That's the other thing. There was a lot of traffic the other time I did this. I'm gonna get annoying calls from Regina. It's a fast travel, I'm blowing past. That's the one I want right there. So if you have this fast travel, there happens to be one old graphics card. There's another one right up there. You want to come down to this fast travel. You run down this street. Something about the altitude. What am I thinking? Have to use the ladder after I climb up. How far are we from the Psycho? Do I have it selected? 200 meters. So, as established in the other one, I don't know what the key is to get directly to this menu. You select something else, you hit escape and it brings you there. Do I really want to take 20 minutes to run down there? No. I'm just going to re-establish that it is there at 6 p.m. Originally I ran on that side, but you can kind of go this way. A little quicker. You don't get stuck on trash. Ended up going for a swim at 11 o'clock at night. And I was trying to keep my distance. And there it is. The people are spawning in, they are partying, they are having a good time. And as long as I don't get too close to that DJ table, Regina won't actually call me for that gig. So. In this alternate parallel, we will just leave her there. I'll load a game. It was the one 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, there. Load this one. So like 6 o'clock in the evening, they're there, they're partying, they're having a good time. Side story for this is really complex, but to make a long story as short as possible, I know it's way beyond what the devs thought, but I just finished putting the thing on the floats there. I didn't use this fast travel. I ran down the street to that one, teleported over here, and I spent an hour from like 10 o'clock at night to 11, which is now, to give it just enough time that if they trace it was me, they now have to question, am I working for the voodoo people? Give Takamura plausible deniability of maybe it wasn't him that I was doing that stuff for. And at this point, I'm going to divert from that path because I was going to go home using the other fast travel and call it a night. But this one I know I have this fast travel up here, which is just over there. Which lets me get to the party without being called for the party, for the cyber psycho up top. Which, yeah. still gonna tag that because party is like right there. And this will be the one time I actually get hit running across here. 250, 225. This fast travel's like 125 meters away from Cyber Psycho. And I could probably... The other one, I actually climbed back up the ladder, went all the way back to the apartment, and then hit skip time for almost 24 hours. And the party was a no-show. There's that thing at the top of the sky. I wonder what that is. I don't think it's an SSD thing. I don't think it's a 16-core CPU saying it can't handle it. I see the light on the tree. That light on that tree is what got my attention to this thing even being here. Yeah, I see a couple of people out there already. Now we got more. We are partying. Walk over here. You get the option to dance, unlike so many other places. Now, let's be honest. You don't go to something like this without at least, like, making a fool of yourself. And I'm starting to think that maybe that's what it is. Alright, so it's 11:30 at night. I'm gonna go 200 meters away this time instead of all the way back to the apartment. We've already established that it is a thing at 6 in the evening. I mean, one of the other saves, I was down by the other Cyber Psycho under the building 200 meters away, and I was watching the clock cross 6 o'clock, and I started walking back. I think it was like 6:04. 200 meters. 225, right there. So, yeah, I was under the thing, and, yeah. Crossing 6 o'clock, I went over there. Now we're going to skip time to... I mean, I should actually just wait, like, a full 24 hours, right? Yeah, I had all kinds of wild maybes, possiblies that I was considering maybe was causing the NPCs to not want to, like, go down to the beach. But, you know, at this point, this is like the second time I've done the 24-hour test. And I am pretty sure it's not my GPU saying it can't handle it and not spawning this in. It is just not here. I'm going to ignore that. He's like asking me for food advice. So, the DJ cable was right there between that trash bag and this. If I walk right up there, I get a call from her.
V, a few Zeta Tech corporals walked into an auto shop. The punchline, none came back out. Apparently it's a family business that's fallen on hard times. My hunch is the owners finally snapped. And you know I got a nose for this stuff.
So, yeah, it's just a time thing. It happens once, never again. Immediately after taking care of that one, there was a police officer car sitting right here. It was there for a couple of days. I kept coming back and checking to see if the party was there or not. After a few days, the car goes away, but the party doesn't return. So yeah, it's kind of depressing. So it doesn't matter whether you discover the cyber psychos or not. They're just you get to enjoy the party once and never again. Kind of sucks in a way. I mean, I can go to not Club 7, but 7 Hell. That's like right there. But there's also a gig for that one. And I suspect as soon as you do that gig, it'll be gone. There's another club down here somewhere where I guess the two owners are fighting. You know, having a little bit of falling out. You have to go in to collect data from a computer. And you can do that without being spotted or anything, but after you do that gig, the place is closed and you can't go back to it. There's a restaurant right there. I thought, you know, instead of going in and just laying waste to everybody, if I do it the other way, you sneak in, you get the information off of his computer, you convince the guy to give back the eye that, you know, he's still alive. The restaurant should be open, right? But, you know, I'm right here. There's no restaurant on the map anymore. I'm obviously not going to save this, but, you know, when you do the gig, you can go in before, right up here, and say, hey, you get an option to, like, can I get coffee? Or is it this one? You know, but after you convince him to give back the eye, he tells you to go off. He doesn't want you in there anymore. So that they were not happy about me being in there. So it's kind of sad in a way. As you go around and you do gigs and you complete things in the city, options for just enjoying an evening off just gradually go away. One gig at a time. So, I do kind of feel kind of mixed about this. I mean, okay, the guy has a chance to try to do better because I didn't just go in and lay waste to him as soon as they started pouncing me. But, you know, that's one more establishment that V can't go to. I'm not sure I'm even going to upload the other multiple videos of me doing this. I've run this route I don't know how many times now. I've used 7th Hell as like a timer of trying to figure out, you know, what time of day do these things happen. Run down this way. I ignore that NCPD over there. You can run right between these two buildings. It's the rectangle one and the square. So you look at the mini-map after and you know where to just dive in there, and the stairs are right in front of you when you're returning from the club. There may be other fast travels around here. I was somewhat avoiding gigs in some locations because I wanted to do other stuff first. You know, unlike Riot, I can just walk in and go downstairs. You know, any time of day, even between like I think it's around 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening, maybe 4 in the evening. This place is dead, and I still got the option to dance. So, you know, it kind of doesn't matter what time you finish all the gigs and you just want to take 5 off for something. You enjoy this place. But, you know, I get this feeling that as soon as you do that gig involving this place, which is probably the only reason it's even here, you won't be able to come down here anymore. I seen one video online. They're talking about animals guarding the doors, and as you can clearly see, you know, I haven't done the gig chain in this area of Night City yet. There was nobody guarding the door. Nobody telling me you're just not going to be in here. You know, there is one other club up in Maelstrom territory here, and I kind of went in there once just trying to figure out. There's a cyber psycho underneath this bar in an alcove of a building that kind of puts the cyber psycho directly under the bar. So I'm looking at the map and I'm looking around saying, okay, where's this bar? I went in there, I found that they sold Spunky Monkey, and I was like, alright, I'll make a note of that. Because I noticed the sign for it in Vic's place and figure, okay, maybe that's, you know, something that V has had a few times. Good stamina booster drink. But if you know anything about V's interactions with Maelstrom, they're not exactly the crowd that V would be willing to just hang out and have a good time with. A mild tolerance, so long as bullshit isn't happening, would probably be the best way to describe the interaction V has with them. You know, there's the one weaponsmith. After you clear out the food, it doesn't matter how you play this now. Whether you pay for the flathead, whether you level the place. After you leave the building, you can go back in the door you came out. And that Maelstrom, sometimes he sells DB5s. Or DB5s. DB2s. Sataras. Sometimes. But not always. That's something for another video. I still want to see if I can get a 5+. But overall, I mean, V's interaction with Maelstrom is not something that would be compatible with V going to one of their bars because she likes the place. Which... oh, that graphics card is really struggling at this point. So... yeah, it kind of sucks. Because I found that party was there, and I'm like, alright. There's a reason to get a few more clothing items now, instead of just the one set that I run around the city laying waste to people in. And then I go back and it's gone. There's one other, but that'll be a video for another time, because there's already too much negativity in this one. There may still be something I don't know about that beach party. But for now, it looks like you don't go to that beach party. You don't trigger the quest for the Cyber Psycho in the car garage above that party until you've got all the outfits you want to go and have fun in. After that night, that party is gone. It doesn't come back. And that's after a week of going and checking out times that things appear and checking on that cruiser that was parked next to the garage, because that's where the steps are that go down to the beach, and just trying to think of all possibilities. So, and I discovered that it's just a 24-hour thing. Because I was gonna go down with a slightly earlier save before I had taken out the Cyber Psychos and try to figure out which of the two Cyber Psychos that party was involved with, and it may not be involved with any of them. Oh, I think that's just about everything I can think of from that hour-long video that I'm not gonna upload. I'll probably just upload this one. So, with that, I'm gonna go back here. I'm gonna play the game. Because there was a few other things I wanted to do this evening with this character in this actual play. I think what I was looking at here is I had just gotten... That was the other thing. You know, some of the gigs I was avoiding because I didn't want 6th Street saying, "Oh, we recognize you, go away," before winning the competition for that gun. And I happened to pick up this one as well. This is the one that you were shooting with. If you're lower level, it might be lower tier. Sorry, but you know, I was doing other things. I still forget that kid's name that like holds the gun to you and Padre's face in the car at the very beginning of the game, but that's his gun. Padre got his payback. I went and visited that spot. That's another video that I may or may not truncate to that point after I found it. But other people, you know, other people have information on that. And just to be somewhat complete, because I know some people hate things not being on the map. There's a little icon like this right here. And unlike one video where the person's like trying to hop up the side of the building, you can just walk around and walk up a set of stairs and you are there. And you can kind of hop from one station to another. There's 4 of them, but you can also walk it off. You know, you don't have to like rush through it too bad. But it is a bit of a challenge with the time they give you with the revolver, and if you don't have the stats for like super fast shooting with a revolver and super fast reload, you know, I was on the edge of just not being able to hit the targets fast enough to get all of them going around, and I'll be honest, I didn't get all of them. I was like 1 shy, I think. I think there's a grand total of 46 targets. But yeah, there's that. But if you mess with 6th Street at all, they will recognize you and won't let you get into that party. Now the other thing, yeah, this is Westbrook right here. Yeah, right there. Let me just tag this right there. It's actually, I think, right here. There's a thing you can walk up and look down from, and then there's like another thing, and they're in between there, and he's sitting in his chair, and his 2 buddies are laying on the ground next to him. But you go to that location, you can find the person that confronted you in the car. You know, feel kind of bad that Padre didn't say, you know what, he held the gun to your head too, you can deal with them for me. I will respect that he wanted to personally go down there and make the problem go away. As fear factor of, he's not someone to mess with. He doesn't have someone else go deal with his problems, he will go deal with them himself. And the problems will go away. So, yeah. Respects. Hopefully this playthrough, it doesn't get stuck at only 6 of 11 gigs and I can't get any more. But that'll be to be said. Uploaded another video. Funny one. And I had 19 of 20 tarot cards. This was the last one on the map, but in the view of the tarot cards, there were like 3 unloaded, so I don't know what's up with that. But you can't get into Embers without a particular gig, I guess. I tried debugging the door and all that stuff with the fast hacks, and I just basically made it not work. But, you know, I've yet to get to that gig, so... You know, I've played the game to the point where I'm talking to Hans. He wants me to go talk to the voodoo people. I go look up online what's involved with that and find out it's 6 hours of monologue that I just don't have the time to sit through. So I'm sorry this is already 30 minutes long, but there's the state of the party on the beach over here. You get to enjoy it once, and never again. I can't imagine what Night City would be like after you complete all of the gigs here. Because, you know, this one didn't go away when I took care of the cyber psycho underneath it, but at the same time, you know, if that's not your vibe, I don't know. I mean, Riot, I can't get in. There's a set of gigs or side jobs or something for it, maybe, but I'm not there, and I can't enjoy that one. I think one of these other gigs, okay, that's Militech, having gangs try to start a war between Militech and Arasake. But one of these other gigs here is another bar that you can dance on the dance floor when you go to do the gig, but after that, because it's a fight between the two bar owners, yeah, that one goes away. You know, I went over to this bar and I walked around the entire place, and there really wasn't a place that gave me the option to dance, so I'm not really sure about the other ones. I know for a fact there's no dance floor at this one. So, yeah. And I don't have Phantom Liberty, so, you know, there's a whole realm of the city I don't have access to yet. But again, that's something for another video, which hopefully would be more positive. It's just that the hazy realm between everything prior to version 1.4 and everything after Phantom Liberty that includes Phantom Liberty. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and call this here. Be cool, y'all.